What's this? Tabletop Island, huh? Let's see what this is all about.
Welcome to Tabletop Island. I'm Bernardo, your host, and today we're going to be taking a look at an unboxing for Unmatched Little Red Riding Hood versus Beowulf. This is a new 2-pack for the Unmatched series. If you're not familiar with it, definitely recommend taking a look at it. I've yet to do a review. That will be coming a lot sooner than you think, so be on the lookout for that. I've done an unboxing for all of the sets thus far, except I believe the original, maybe also Bruce Lee. It might be the original 3. But without further ado, let's take a look at this one. I'm very excited. Their goal of this set was to make it a little more competitive, and these are a little bit more of what they consider advanced characters. If you're a seasoned Unmatched player, you are absolutely going to love these. I have thankfully already gotten to test some of these characters. They're probably some of my favorite, especially Little Red, because she's got some cool stuff going on. But let me get this box opened up for y'all so you can take a look here. And while I'm doing that, I'm waiting to hear everyone's, or a small group of individuals say, I really wish you didn't do this filter because I wish I could see all of the detail, because somehow it doesn't show up in the video. Even though it does, I mean, I can definitely understand where individuals would rather it be fully HD. Sorry, this box is really hard for me to open. We got there. But I don't plan on ever removing this filter. I accept all feedback on my channel, as always, but that is one thing that is an aesthetic for my channel for all unboxings, all videos. No, it will not just be my intro that does it, because that doesn't make sense. The intro is literally the only thing that isn't VHS, because I put in the VHS tape, and this all plays. All that fun stuff. But I'm not here to talk about that, because I am continuing the way I do things here. Awesome, I am excited. I was told the rulebook has some really nice art here, so I'm excited to take a look here. Ooh, that is some nice art. And I was told here the back has some Mo. Ooh, that is nice. Look at that, boy. I do very much appreciate the artwork on this. It looks great. From what I've seen thus far, I have yet to see all of the cards up close, so I'm going to be just as surprised as you are here. So we got our dials here. Take a look at that. I love the kind of almost flowery, kind of swirly design here. I like that. I've liked a lot more detail that I've started to see on some of these dials. I started to see a lot more of a step up on the specific details, starting with that Buffy set. I'd really have to go back and look at some of the others, because I'm sure it's been there, but some little minor nuances I noticed in the Buffy set, which I absolutely loved. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, I definitely like them utilizing more artwork here, and here you'll see doors. They did add a new element here which has doors. I believe, if I remember correctly, used an action point to kind of go through them. I did not play on this map yet. I'm not familiar with it. I'm only familiar with some of the way the characters play. Definitely need to get a little bit more play time to form a full-on opinion, but this map is going to be a map that's different. Let me start with the side you guys will be familiar with, this kind of layout here. This has the normal circle layout with the slashes. The vibrance on this, or the saturation on this, looks absolutely amazing. I love how this pops. Definitely appreciating this map a lot. It is a 2-player map, hence this is a 2-pack. If you noticed any of the other sets, and if you weren't familiar, this is the time where I tell you there are 4-pack sets which have 4-player maps. You can play 2 to 4 players. In this instance, this is going to be a 2-player map, so only 2 players can play on this specific map. Yeah, well, this map has also been duplicated with something they mentioned trying out. I wasn't sure they were going to go through with it, but essentially it's the same kind of style here, if I'm looking correctly. Yep, it just shows a lot more detail of the artwork, and I want to make sure you guys see that. And what this cancels out is the full split of the colors here. Instead, it's a thin circle here. You can see the red stops here and the yellow continues here. This is great to display the artwork, and I honestly really like it. My thing in terms of how I like the map, I do still like this version of the map more. I do enjoy the little small details on the circles. It covering up this added detail art doesn't bug me at all, and honestly, it's a lot easier to look at. I feel like if individuals don't have the greatest of eyesight, this might be a little bit hard to see. While they used excellent color choices and decision making as to how they had everything laid out and how the circles cut, you can indeed see it. I just feel like it isn't as obvious without kind of my brain trying to process it. I'm more focused on the deck, and I think this is smack in your face and gets the point across a lot more effectively, in my opinion. Again, I do know a lot of people love the full-on artwork, so great job on that. I think you're going to satisfy a lot of individuals who really wanted this. I'm not sure if this is something they're going to continue to do, but I'm sure this is kind of a test run to see exactly what kind of feedback they get on it. Good job for the individuals who appreciate that. For me, I will still stick to this side because it's just what I'm used to, and it's just a lot easier and bold in my face to see. And for a learning experience, I think that's a better one. I think the advantage of having something like this in this specific set is because these characters are a little more advanced. With that being said, a more advanced board, you're already familiar with the system. You don't need too much of an explanation, and you don't need a handicap of having it this bold in your face because you're already familiar with it. That's my only logic for it. That probably wasn't something they considered. Maybe it was. I'm not too sure. But we will dive right into this. I'm going to start with Little Red, who is my favorite in the set thus far. Although when I first saw it, I wasn't too excited for Beowulf. I was familiar with his movie. I wasn't too familiar with his full-on backstory. I saw the movie so long ago, I couldn't recall a lot from it. I just remember watching it. Not terrible movie. Just wasn't too excited for the character, but after kind of seeing what it does and how it played, I was a fan of it. So I know with Unmatched, you'll see a lot of these kind of smaller IPs and you'll question whether or not it's a character for you. You will be very surprised. So definitely give it a shot. Look at what the character does and see if it fulfills what you like. I know they have some IPs such as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Jurassic Park. So if something like that stands out to you more, and with the future Marvel stuff coming out, ooh, that might stick out more to you. But for me, I do like these smaller IPs. I love all of it as a whole in general. So whatever they release, I will be getting. But I'm rambling. So we got our little kind of starter card here, Little Red, 2 movement. It says here, resolve an effect on a card you play if the symbol next to the effect matches the item in your basket. At the start of the game, place a little Red's basket in your discard pile. So the basket becomes every card you discard, which is where this character becomes a little bit more interesting. I'm going to set that here for a moment because this is the basket. This just essentially says it starts in your discard pile, does not count as a card. And it says here at the bottom, this counts as any one symbol. So in the beginning, you get the option to utilize any of the symbol's abilities. What those symbol abilities mean is on the ends of each card, it says what symbol this specific card is. Here, I'm going to bring it a little bit closer so you can take a look here. So you see that symbol there? That symbol is the symbol for this card. Now, its ability here, for example, this says you may play this card as any defense card. If that symbol right there is in the discard. Now, while the first one is a wild card, there's going to be future cards that you play that cover into your discard pile. For example, when you see that symbol here, that's when you know you'll be able to utilize that effect. Easy enough. It adds a little more dynamic and a little bit more decision making as to what card you want in your discard pile. That's about to the extent I can talk about this. I don't know as much about Beowulf because I mainly played around with this character, but these cards are awesome. And look at this artwork, man. Look at that. I love it. I don't think I've been disappointed with Unmatched artwork thus far. It's all excellent. There's some artwork I favor a lot more than others, but for the most part, I don't think I've ever just been completely appalled by the art design. One of the things I started to notice was the little circular designs that they have in every single Unmatched set. They kind of find a way to implement it, and really clever, and even some bold in-your-face methods. I very much enjoy that a lot. But what do you guys think? I guess if you're watching this, are you familiar with the Unmatched set? What do you guys like about this? Do you like that advanced idea of the characters in this set? Is that something you guys want to see more of? I personally do. I really want to see more characters that add a little bit more dynamic and range to how the cards itself play, rather than what the how they affect the game itself rather than what specific their card does. There's a lot of different ways that they can switch up the cards and what they do for the game itself, but adding that extra element to the decks and their abilities really goes a long way. For example, with those symbols, and Beowulf is no other exception here, because he is just as advanced as she is. So we got here Beowulf. Here, let me get this up close and in focus for you. There we go. Beowulf starts with 1 rage. When Beowulf is dealt damage, he gains 1 rage. Beowulf has a maximum of 3 rage. These rages give him a lot spicier of abilities in this game. For example, let's take a look here. We have spend any amount of rage, and this card's value is +2 for each rage spent. So if you had 3 rage, that's 2 times 3. So that's 6, +1, that is 7. So 2, 4, 6, 7. That's pretty good. And that's attack and defense. If you're not familiar with the game, that's attack defense symbol. That's really solid. He has a bunch of effects here. I'm going to kind of go through the artwork. I'm not going to read you every single card, but I do want you to appreciate all of that artwork there. And I'm getting it more close in your face, so even with this filter, you should be able to see a good amount of detail here. Hopefully it's a little bit better for you guys, but again, I apologize if you're not enjoying the filter for unboxings, but it's the aesthetic of the channel. It's not something that will ever go. I apologize, but I hope, at least for a good majority of you guys, you seem to enjoy it, and I'm glad because I'm having a great time utilizing this aesthetic. It's very fun. This is cool. It's like a zombie arm, and in kind of that blood dripping, you can see the reflection of Beowulf. That's sick. What does it do? Immediately you may spend 2 rage to deal damage to the opposing fighter equal to the printed value of their card. This will prevent something like characters who can boost things that can just really throw you way under. Like if you ended up doing it for an ability like, let's say it was Magical Mirror Match, it wouldn't be a full 7 if you paid 3 rage, it would just be the 1 printed value. Sorry if I was a little off on that in terms of the camera view. But take a look at some more of this artwork. It looks awesome. Look at that. Man, I like this artwork. I love the color choices on this one. The teal and that kind of yellowish, kind of fading a little bit close to the orange spectrum. Really like that. Wiglaf deals 1 damage to each adjacent fighter. If Beowulf was dealt damage this way, gain 1 action. So he does have a sidekick. Look at that. Oh, that's so sick. Man, I love this artwork. Which one of these two are you guys more excited for? And take a look at that back design. I've always loved the back designs, which is why when I sleeve these cards, I always use clear sleeves. I'm not sure if I showed it off that well here. So let me also pull out that card so you can see. Take a look at that. I love the back design on these. That is excellent. Well, let's start with Little Red since she was the first one I pulled out. I'm going to kind of get it up close here for you guys. So look at that. The detail in the minis is always excellent. And if you're not a big painter, I mean, these have a nice wash on them. So if I'm going to have miniatures that aren't painted, I would much rather them have this wash because it keeps the detail, preserves it really well. And it doesn't keep it as flat as just the solid gray. This is an excellent choice on Restoration Games part, and I'm super glad they did, especially with some of these future IPs. A lot of people want kind of color on them, so I understand that they're not colored. That little added shading really sells me on that for sure. And there's a lot of excellent painters out there too. I'll be doing some painting showing too. Once I finish the entire Unmatched set painting, I'm really close to finishing that also. Here, let me get this one into focus for you. Beowulf looks awesome, and it is on the larger side of the mini. I think with his sword standing tall, a friend of mine said it stands pretty close to like Bigfoot, so we're getting to that decent height size here. Here, let me get my other hand to rotate that a little bit. Look at that detail. Man, that's cool. Here, I want to get you an idea too on the 2 size differences here. Yeah, so yeah, that's really all we have here. Let me know though, what are you guys more excited from this set? Are you familiar with Unmatched? If you're not, welcome. Excited to have you here, and hopefully this is a new system that interests you a bit. Again, they have some future things coming with the whole Marvel IP. I know that sounds like an oversaturated IP, however, they're finding some really unique ones, such as we got Ghost Rider, who's not so popular, Daredevil, we got Luke Cage, we got Squirrel Girl, who I didn't even know existed, but that's awesome. And then Buffy the Vampire Slayer set brings a lot of really awesome characters playable for individuals who might be more appreciative of the specific IPs. But that is honestly all I have for you guys today. If you're interested in notifications, there's a bell up there somewhere, or down there, YouTube changes. Please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate any feedback. I'm trying to make these videos more and more outrageous, and with your guys' help, I have been doing so. Monday, regular board game reviews. Wednesday, weekly updates / talks. And then on Fridays, my vintage board game reviews. That is all I have for you guys today. I'll see you guys next time.